Hi guys, so today I decided to create a look on someone other than myself, and this is my gorgeous friend Fatima. So she wanted a really smoky eye look. I started off by filling in her brows, and I'm using my deep brow pomade in ebony, and I'm just filling that in with an angled brush. To clean up her brows, I'm using the MAC Pseudo Finish Concealer in NC45, and I'm just using a flat angled brush to do that. For the top of her brows, I'm using a different shade which is much closer to her skin tone. I'm just using that to clean up the top of the brows just so it's not too harsh. Using my e.l.f. brow gel, I'm just gonna comb that through her brows just to keep them in place. For foundation, I'm using the Lancome foundation, and this one comes off kind of red at first, but it oxidizes and looks okay in a few minutes. I'm now gonna prime her eyes with the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. Then I'm gonna use the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Black Bean for base, and I'm just gonna blend that with a blending brush. So for my transition color, I'm taking this mauvey pink shade from my Sleek palette, and I'm using a fluffy blending brush to just put that in the crease. For the lid, I'm just using a black shade from my Kat Von D Shade on Light eye palette, and this is a very dark black, so I'm just putting that on the lid with a flat shading brush. Then I'm going back with the transition shade just to blend everything out and to make sure there are no harsh lines. For the brow bone, I'm taking this creamy shade from my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm just gonna apply that to the brow bone and blend very well. So now moving on to eyeliner, and I'm using my Revlon liquid eyeliner, and I'm just making a little wing. For underneath her eyes, I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm blending that out with the Beauty Blender, and I'm just working that in, and my Beauty Blender is damp, so it helps with the blending. Using the same concealer, I'm just applying some to her forehead and her nose, and I'm also going to apply some to her chin and her cupid's bow. I'm using my Studio Finish concealer and a flat angled brush just to clean up the eyeshadow. To set underneath her eyes, I'm using my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm just applying that underneath her eyes to the bridge of her nose and her forehead, her chin and her cupid's bow, and basically everywhere I want to highlight. I'm just setting the concealer I applied previously. After letting that set for a few minutes, I'm just using a fluffy brush to dust off the excess powder. Now I'm using a powder which matches her skin tone, and I'm just gonna use that to buff out the excess powder and also to set her foundation. For her lower lash line, I'm using the same movie shade which I used in her crease, and I'm just blending that all over her lower lash line with the blending brush. I'm gonna apply eyeliner to a waterline, and then I'm gonna apply this shimmery shade into her inner tear duct. To contour her face, I'm adding a dark brown shade with a really dense flat brush, and I'm just applying that to her cheekbones and her temples, and then I'm blending it out with this fluffy brush. For blush, I'm using this really nice rosy tone from MAC, and it's called Blunt Pepper. To highlight, I'm using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Topaz. I'm just applying that to every place I want to highlight, so everywhere I want to reflect light. The tops of her cheeks, her temples, her tip of her nose, and the bridge of her nose and her chin. And I also added some to her cupid's bow. Now I'm just applying some false eyelashes to complete the look. I'm first gonna line her lips with a dark brown lip pencil. Then I'm using this gorgeous pinky nude shade by Maybelline, and I'm just gonna fill in her lips with this, and I'm gonna go over the lip liner just a bit. For lip gloss, I'm using this pinky mauvey shade from Maybelline as well, and I'm just using that to fill in her lips, and I'm using this brush to blend everything.